Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today, we're going to be talking about Ripple and XRP. This was the vast crypto and finance. With that being said, I hope that you are all having a day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are out there in the world. So today, we saw a major wipeout of late longs, and that has caused a lot of people to think that we are topped out, that we are done, and that we are going to have a massive sell-off. A lot of this is just noise. You need to focus on what actually matters now. The big thing that I have been focused on, number one thing that I've been addressing for the last couple of days, is meme coins. Listen, on the 7-day span, meme coins are still the top movers in space. And what I was talking about at that time was that a lot of these meme coins and even the illiquid projects in this space are the top movers, which is why I was actually very cautious. And it paid off. It paid to be cautious at this time because now we are having that pullback. And even in the bullish videos, I said, make sure that you are stacking stable coins on the sidelines for any major buy opportunity. And these are opportunities. Now, are we going to continue to sell off? Are we going to lower? It's a big question that everyone is asking, and the number one thing to focus on is the volume and also the focus on Bitcoin right now. In my opinion, a lot of these pullbacks will be very short, but the number one thing that I'm watching for now that we are past the idea of a pullback is how high Bitcoin will go on the next move, and I want to actually see higher lows and higher highs, because that is healthy and bullish price action. The number one thing that we saw back in 2020 was actually Bitcoin creating lower lows in 2020. It was bearish. That presented us with one of the best buying opportunities in this space to date. So that's what I'm watching right now. But trading volume on Bitcoin is over it's $100.7 billion. I mean, this is crazy to say the least. When we're comparing that to a lot of other altcoins in space, that is a very significant amount of volume. If we look at the top 24-hour volume, the only one that is over Bitcoin is Tether at 185.6 billion. Ethereum comes in third at a $47.5 billion worth of our trading volume. And then after that, we still have some stable coins, followed by Shiba Inu, and then Solana, Dogecoin, and XRP. XRP is actually at $4.7 billion of trading volume. Now, everyone is bearish right now on XRP, but one thing that I really want to note is the top gainers and losers. So top gainers, we could see some of them here. There's not a ton of them. Here are the top losers. And XRP is actually all the way down here on the list. ADA, VeChain, Conflux, Flow, Stellar, Gala, EOS, ApeCoin, Woo, Chiliz, all of these, guess what? They are losing more than XRP right now. So as we flip bearish, I want you guys to understand that XRP is still not as bearish as you actually think it is. I know that we are down past 60 cents again. We're at about 58 cents, but this is not too much to be concerned about, in my opinion, especially in the long term. But regardless, we have been watching ETF volume. So record trading volume for Bitcoin ETFs, IBIT over 3.7 billion, Grayscale 2.8 billion, and Fidelity over $2 billion. And a lot of this is negative. So this is actually outflows, but there was a very significant amount of trading volume that did stack up today. And a lot of it was panic selling. A lot of it was also liquidations, not in terms of ETFs, but outside of ETFs. A big mover in the market was liquidation. Now, big shout out to Credible Crypto. He's actually talking heavily about what's happening. And right here we have, guys, if anyone starts talking about a triple top, just unfollow them now. Literally no logic behind suggesting such a thing. This may be a temporary/local top. It is not the end of this cycle by any means. More coming soon. And a lot of people are now saying like, oh, Bitcoin hit a triple top. That's done. It's in a very bearish scenario now for Bitcoin. It's going to crash. the thing is that there's always going to be some new narrative that is pushed around that makes you feel bearish or bullish. Back in 2021, it was great adoption. Institutions are here. They're going to FOMO in and push the price higher and price everyone out. And now we're kind of still there in terms of that narrative, but the bearishness is the triple top on Bitcoin. It is ridiculous, guys. And also, big shout out to Crypto Nagata. We have Justin. Instead of admitting they have been wrong since forever ago, bears are now coming up with this triple top theory. Wouldn't it be simple to change bias and start making money? Probably, but their ego is too big. They will keep shorting until $100,000 on Bitcoin. Pro tip, pay attention to when they flip bias. Once they become bulls again, the top could be close. And yes, that's exactly what will happen. You'll see the entire market erupt in bullish euphoria. There was still a lot of people saying, "Oh, I'm very cautious right now. I'm very cautious right now. Bitcoin looks, toppish. I'm out right now. I'm very bearish." And yes, it will pay off in the short term, but the problem is in the long term, they will miss out on the much larger expansion of the upside, which we will get. Everyone is still confusing how this cycle is actually working right now. And a lot of what we are seeing from, most of the reply guys is a lack of intelligence and knowledge around cycles. Study the cycles within the space, you will be golden. You'll also understand that we are early in the cycle. But also, I did respond to Credible Crypto. I said, we just had a liquidity hunt that liquidated many longs. Stop playing with leverage. Stop falling victim to the psychological warfare of red candles caused by market makers. Now is the time to lock in, focus up, and understand that we are just getting started. Because yes, we are, especially when it comes to alt. Now, as we look at the pullback, what actually is happening? Well, yes, there's a lot of liquidations. A pullback was healthy anyways. I even put out a post regarding this. I said, this is what we were watching for. This is an opportunity for where we are headed. Don't be emotional. Don't listen to the noise. A pullback is healthy after we pumped 4 weekly green candles in a row. This is what's needed for a much larger move on Bitcoin and even alts. And the big post that I did quote was back on March 3rd, where I did put out a post saying, is this the pullback that we're watching? It definitely could be. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of clowns / reply guys talking about how that is something again. This could be the last big opportunity before the next up. And I do believe that is the case. Now, as we really look at this, I was mainly looking at the two. There was levels that I was pressing to. This currently right now. So we broke over that initial level, which is labeled on the next key area was around roughly 1.075 trillion. Now we wicked all the way up to about roughly almost $1.2 trillion. But the weekly candle close is where it all matters. And we've had significant wicks past around the same exact range, but now we are hitting resistance at around roughly 1.05 trillion. We wicked all the way down to about roughly $900. Do we get something like this where we kind of bleed out a little bit and we bleed down to my target point of roughly 800 billion, and then we kind of build back to the upside? That would be very healthy. Now, what I've had on this chart was kind of the same exact thing, right? Like where we kind of bleed out onto the trend line, then we the upside. Mind you, this was back in March. This was back in the beginning of this month, March 2nd. The number one thing that I have been addressing when it comes to the overall market is pay attention to major pullbacks, especially at this point in the cycle, because this is going to provide you with a ton of opportunity to buy into altcoins that you are watching. It doesn't have to be XRP, it can be any altcoin. This is what you want to watch. This is the altcoin market minus, of course, Bitcoin. It doesn't even look at if you wanted to have a more in-depth view on themselves, but both charts are hitting and they are looking like they want to have a much direction. Get it? Or do we just continue to range here? Because we don't need to come all the way back down to that trend line. We already tapped nearly that 900 $3 billion level that we bounced off back in March of 2022. And I know that the best area to focus because what ended up happening next was April of 2022, where we fell off the bear market. But this time, my opinion, if you hold this level, I would like to have us kind of range within, then get that next the upside, be very helpful. But I also outlined back on March 4th, video XRP now at critical level, market warning signs. Now, again, we were trading at about roughly $63.6 thousand dollars on Bitcoin. XRP was sitting at about roughly 60 cents. I said that I wouldn't mind seeing a major pullback in the market, considering the fact that the major movers right now are meme coins and illiquid assets. And everyone was saying, well, typically this is very bullish. And although, yes, it has been bullish, we are now seeing the after effects of why these types of projects, once they have that major sell-off, it does typically lead to a whole pullback for the entire market. Back in 2023, up in the summertime, meme coins were going crazy, and it actually marked a significant top. Now, is this just a local top? Yes, in my opinion, very well just be a local top, and the next leg up, what I'm expecting. So I'm holding my position. I didn't sell any of my. I just compare to right now because we still are very on. When it comes to XRP, well, we are tapping that 62.5 cent zone in terms of resistance, and you can clearly see it on the chart. So this is going to be a little bit of a rough area for us to break over. So far, we've back tested almost 200 weekly EMA, held it. We got close. Back tested 53 and almost a half cents. What I personally would love for us to do in the short term on this week is have a weekly candle close above 58.5 cents. Now we have until Sunday to do so we're definitely going to keep a close eye out on this. But 58.5 cents is a critical level that I've been mentioning quite a bit around XRP. But the full red zone is where we would have these deep pullbacks if that was the case. So far, it has been working out very well. Is XRP bearish right now? In my opinion, no, it's not. I wouldn't mind seeing a pullback back down to the trend line, would be around roughly 1 cent. That would be a big opportunity, long-term path ahead. Altcoins, because remember, alt season is still on its way. Everyone is forgetting how alt season actually works. And big shout out to Credible Crypto yet again, because he actually put out a post saying, so when alt, let me break it down. I have previously said many times that alts will begin outperforming once Bitcoin breaks prior highs. But exactly when will they take the lead? Two scenarios that have played out in the past: Bitcoin breaks prior all-time highs with conviction and goes on a 2x in a matter of weeks. This is a mega breakout without much of a breather, and alts don't get much love until Bitcoin pauses after the breakout leg. This is what I have been focused on with Bitcoin and Bitcoin dominance. I've been heavily. The number one thing that you watch is Bitcoin dominance dropping while Bitcoin spike up heavy, or Bitcoin just changes. We also have two: Bitcoin tags prior all-time highs, but rejects / consolidates at the highs for a few weeks before beginning to accelerate to the upside, to then double in a matter of weeks. Alts begin rallying right after Bitcoin tags prior all-time highs, while Bitcoin consolidates. In the former scenario, alts begin rallying en masse some weeks after Bitcoin breaks prior all-time highs. In the latter, they start rallying almost immediately after Bitcoin tags prior all-time highs. The common theme here and the key takeaway is that after Bitcoin hits prior all-time highs, alts begin rallying at the first major pause / consolidation of Bitcoin, whether that at prior all-time highs or far above it. I do not know which scenario we will get this time, but the bottom line is patience pays here. Literally, a mega alt season is around the corner, one way or another, and I could not agree more. That is the thing that everyone should be focused on instead of just the red candle. There is going to be a massive alt season coming up later on this year. When I say later on, I don't think that's 3, 4, 5 months away. That's going to happen in a matter of a few weeks. And number one thing that I'm really watching is a break over the $1.075 trillion level. That will take us to $1.1 trillion. After that, the all-time high, is at about $7. altcoin market. Then my full-on target is up here at about roughly $2.5 trillion to almost $3.5 trillion, which is going to provide us with a ton of upside movement on a lot of the tokens, including XRP. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You guys did definitely leave a like, subscribe to notifications on content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord below. And with that being said, guys, Nick watching. Peace out.